There is a massive lie that is constantly being insinuated in the fitness industry, and after going from fat to fit in 1.5 years and then consistently maintaining those results for years, I've realized what it is. And to be honest, this is not a bad lie, it is a white lie. It is the kind of lie people wanna hear. That's why it has been purported for so long, that's why so many people choose to accept it. But the problem with it is that it is a lie, and people who believe it live in delusion. I don't want you to live in delusion. I don't want you to live in an existence that is not true. I don't want you to get disappointed of this lie breaking in your face. And to be honest, in my own experience, I'm kind of in a good place in this lie, so it has not fucking crushed my face and my ego. But some people out there genuinely need to realize the truth about this thing. For you to realize what the thing is, I want you to realize one thing. You can go and train. That's how you will build muscle. You can also go and eat a good diet. That's another way to build muscle. That's another way to support muscle growth. You can go and get leaner. That's another way to get a better body. The problem is that the amount of muscle you will build is not dependent on your training methods. Like so many fitness influencers have to talk about training methods, get a better stretch, do partial reps, do all of these training methods. But if you would look at the science and look at very simple studies about training to failure and its effect on muscle growth, which is pretty obvious, or other studies on the effect of resistance training on muscle building, certain training methods, certain whatever, you would constantly see a distribution of results. The distribution is that there are some outliers that get vastly more results than everyone else. There are some outliers that get vastly less results than everyone else. And there are the people in the middle. There is a bell curve. Regardless of the training method, regardless of everything, there are people who see a lot of gains with a certain method, and there are people who lose muscle when they use it. For sake, there was a study, I'd seen it a few months ago, about something really fundamental in training. Some people who went through the training method, who went and trained and did all of the protocols in that study, gained muscle, a lot of it, like 5 pounds, 3 pounds, 10 pounds in some cases, I think, the outlier. Some people also lost muscle mass. The same training method, the same diet, the same sleep, maybe not completely the same, right? It's very hard to replicate, but very similar methods, protocols. Some people gained and some people lost. And all of these people on social media, on short form content platforms, and like their sales page, their funnels, Hussein Farat and other nutties, fake nutties too. Maybe Hussein Farat is not really a nutty, I don't know. All of these guys, they sell you their results. Even me, like to some extent, even though I don't sell anything, even though I don't even have a product. We all sell you things. We all show our transformation from these things. We all will show like the best transformations people got from our products. We will show the kind of guy who gained 10 pounds of muscle and lost a lot of fat and got them in an amazing shape, who has competed. We won't show you the guy who tried it and then failed. We won't show you the guy who did everything correctly and then got skinny, instead of really skinny. But there are some people like that, and you might be one of them. The biggest lie in the fitness industry that is constantly being purported, insinuated, not like said. People won't lie to you and tell you, you will get extremely jacked, you will get my results. But they would show you their photos, their progress photos. They would tell you, join now, get results. They would insinuate you would see those results when in reality most of you won't. Especially like the insane transformation that blow up. You won't see the results just because there are outliers. Most people who post their gym progress, they don't blow up. That's because their transformation is mediocre. It is the bell curve, it is in the middle, it is 50% of people. I want you to genuinely realize your genetics will play a massive role, and it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how good or bad your training methods are. As long as you get the fundamentals correctly, your genetics will make the bigger part. And that's a black pill you need to swallow, but that's also a good thing, because I don't want to get too philosophical in this video, but happiness and kind of like peace, the peace thing, all of these gurus feel and love to talk about the Jesuses of the world, like the Jesus-like monks of the world, the people who right, you know probably what I'm talking about, the guys who shave their head or just live in isolation, without women, without the pleasures of the world. they talk about peace. And in some way, accepting the discrepancy between who you wanna be and you want right now and what you get from the world, it is kind of like peace. Because you can't really control it, you can't do anything about it. Constantly striving to fill that gap you can't even feel, it is not good. Now, of course, get as good as you can, but sit down and genuinely accept that there will always be a kind of like gap. And that gap is something to be grateful for. It is you. It is your existence. If it did not exist, you would not be yourself. You would be a different person. You would be Chad. You would be the Chad archetype, just him. It would not be you. The whole point, like, of being humans, of going and getting as good as we can in fitness or in whatever, it is the discrepancy between our potential and what we fulfill, and we should all strive to fulfill as much of it as possible while being grateful for what we have, for what we get, from the discrepancy from the discrepancy between us and perfection. Try to strive and gather as much as possible, but also accept that there will be a limitation. Kind of philosophical, I know. You might have left this video right already. Or what the fuck are you talking about? You're just a 16 years old. I don't know. Some philosophy shit. And that's basically it. Bye.